So let me just give you a play-by-play of what happened this month. I took my glasses off, I got my credit card, and I swipe. I had a manga blackout, went to bed, woke up, and now we're here. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Prophet Taku, and welcome back to my channel for my March 2023 manga haul. This is just such a great month of manga buying, some of the best used manga deals I've ever found, as well as several gifts that I'm just so grateful for. Let's get started. So this first section here is going to be dubbed the Ise Press Yen Press section because yet again they came through, big supporters of the channel, and they sent me some manga to show off to you guys. I'm just so grateful that they continue to support this channel by sending me manga that I can put on your guys' radar. It's truly an honor. First up here we have a super early release. I actually got it this afternoon, and that is volume 1 of The Horizon. It's a manhwa by JH, the same person who does The Boxer. So this volume isn't slated to come out till June of 2023, but they put this review copy in my hand so I can show you guys. Beautiful condition, absolutely awesome. It's at that $20 price tag, but this is a very short series, so it's well worth it. If you would like to check out my thoughts on it, I actually have read the entire thing on Webtoons, and I did a full non-spoiler review on it. It just blew me away on so many levels. It's so deep, it's so messed up, there's so many great life lessons to be learned here, and it's just this really dark post-apocalyptic struggle of these two kids just trying to survive. Ise Press continues to just go full throttle, putting out some of the best manhwa out there, and The Horizon is no exception. This is a license I could not believe that they got, and it's well worth your time and money. So let's keep going with some manhwa. They sent me volume 2 of The Remarried Empress. I read volume 1 and I surprisingly liked it. If you like soap opera, political drama, lots of anger and tension, revenge story, this is going to be the one for you. And just like all the other Ise Press releases, great page quality, beautiful colors that just pop off of the page. This is a phenomenal read, and here we are with 2 volumes of Tomb Raider King. I got volume 1 and then they sent me volume 2 here. I was not the biggest fan of solo leveling. This gives me solo leveling vibes. I want to give that type of manhwa series another chance, so this is my opportunity to go ahead and give this one the good old 1-2 try. It's got very much a fantasy video game type of feel. A guy goes into these different tombs to find these relics and power up. Moving on to the oversized manga, we have one of the most anticipated volume 2s from the volume 1 that I read last year, and that is Coffee Moon volume 2. If you want a really dark, messed up Groundhog's Day where someone's just repeating the same day over and over again, but there's just something wrong, something really weird is going on, this is the manga for you. Here's a fun fact for you. This first arc is actually 3 volumes long, so this is a great chance to just give it a good old 3-volume try, and if you're not into it, then totally okay, go ahead and drop it. But I love the mystery in here. I love the art style. It's really unique, and the characters are a lot of fun as well. I'm definitely intrigued, and what I really like about this volume 2 is that it dives more into the mystery. I know that was a big concern for people in volume 1, so if volume 1 wasn't your cup of tea, volume 2 might give you that little kick to finish off the 3rd volume. Here we are with a really unique title that I'm super glad to try out. She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat volumes 1 and 2, so they sent me volume 2, I grabbed volume 1. This is a josei girls love series about 2 people who bond over their love for cooking. I do like cooking manga, and I love the josei demographic, so definitely one that I was like, you know what, this is one I need to try. I really appreciate the approach that josei manga brings in terms of the seriousness, and especially with character relationships. I really like this simplistic art as well, so I cannot wait to dive into this one. Here we are with the 1-volume sequel series, Kinero Mosaic Best Wishes. This follows our cast of characters after they've graduated from high school and they come back together for some more hijinks after the OG series. This is just a slice of life 4-coma series, right up my alley. I don't know anything about the OG series, so I can't necessarily recommend it, but I love the artwork. It looks super cute, so eventually down the road I will be picking up this OG series sooner rather than later. But yeah, this definitely looks super cute. Here we are with one of my favorite light novel reads that I've had in the last year, Bofuri Almera. Max Out My Defense Volume 8. I have been loving this series. If you want a super easy light novel read, turn your brain off with a really good power system and great pacing, this is going to be the one for you. Seriously, give this one a try, even if you are only a manga reader. Here we are with 2 volumes of The Executioner and Her Way of Life. This is volume 1 that I picked up. They sent me volume 6. Really interesting premise. It follows these aliens who come to Japan and these executioners who are in charge of killing them. It just seems super dark, super messed up. So this is definitely the series that I want to be able to balance out my fun isekai with. So I cannot wait to get into this one. Now here's a really cool looking light novel, brand new from Yen Press. They sent me volume 1. This is Hollow Regalia, and it follows a dragon slayer and a dragon girl as they go around collecting artifacts together on the corpses of these dragons. Seems really cool, seems really action packed. So yes. And here's some of the really cool artwork in here as well. I just love the design of all the characters. Next up is a light novel series that's really hot in the light novel community right now, and it's called Secrets of the Silent Witch. So I got sent in volume 3, so I went ahead and picked up volume 1 and volume 2 here. And what this series is about, and it follows a girl who's really powerful. She's got all these powers. She killed this really big dragon, but she's actually really shy, and so she has problems interacting with people. She's trying to hide her magic power, but it's about this shy girl who goes to this world. She's in charge of protecting the prince and defeating all the evil forces. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about another fantasy light novel series like this one, but because it's so critically acclaimed, I decided to go ahead and pick it up. 3 more light novels here. We have The Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena volume 1 and volume 10, and then we also have ReZero volume 21, the newest light novel in this series. All 3 of these are very highly acclaimed. Wandering Witch is more of a slice of life fantasy witch series, so definitely something to balance out the other witch one. And I don't need to say anything about ReZero, a critically acclaimed isekai series that I just cannot wait to dive into. At this point, I'm just stockpiling. Now let's just take a little break from manga and light novels to show off something really cool, and that is Visions 2022. It's an illustration book from Yen Press. I was super surprised to see this in the package that Yen Press sent me, but this is a compilation of some of the most well-known artists on Pixiv, and it's all of their work from 2022. Even though this is a paperback, the quality of this art book is phenomenal. The pages are super glossy. You get some phenomenal artwork in here, and it's really cool to see all the different types of art and all the different types of categories presented in here. Really cool. This book has a pretty hefty price tag at $45 retail, but let me tell you this, if you want an art book with a bunch of different art in it, and you're definitely getting the bang for your buck here because it's a big one, definitely recommend this. I'm super glad to have it, and I've really enjoyed flipping through it. Now we're going to move on to all the smaller manga from Yen Press. First up here, we have Love of Kill Volume 11. Man, I have been absolutely loving Love of Kill. I just finished Volume 7. 8 to 10 is an arc, and then 11 to 13 is an arc. So this starts the last arc of the series. I can't wait to see how this ends. An underrated dark horse in the josei demographic. Next up, Yen Press sent me Shy Volume 2. Volume 1 was all the rage, a superhero manga that wasn't My Hero Academia. People were picking it up left and right. I read my review copy of Volume 1, and I wasn't exactly sure if I liked it or I didn't like it. I definitely had some problems with it, but let me just say a little sneak peek into my reading log for the next video. This Volume 2, it put all of my concerns to rest. I absolutely loved it. If you've been hesitant to start this series or continue this series, Volume 2 will definitely change your mind. Next up is a Volume 1 of a brand new series. I was like, oh, I hope they send this to me, and they did, and it is called The Name of the Night. Oh my goodness, this is just like Witch Hat Atelier. The story follows this girl right here who's a caller of the night. She brings darkness all around her, and she's working with her master who's trying to cure her of this illness. It's super interesting. The lore of this world is great, but let me just tell you, the artwork, oh my goodness, this is total eye candy. It is beautifully detailed. The backgrounds are great. The world is immersive. I highly recommend this. I like that it's in the smaller size as well. Yeah, I mean, this is just a total dark horse out of left field. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next up is one of my favorite ongoing series from Yen Press. We have Shadow's House Volume 3. I love Shadow's House. It's slice of life, but it's super dark and mysterious with lots of lore. You have this house with these shadows shadows in it, and then you have these living dolls who impersonate the faces of these shadows. They act as the people who portray their emotions. Really, really cool, really deep, even though it's super cute and fluffy and funny. This manga just checks all of the boxes for me for a slice of life series, so I highly recommend you check it out. Here we go with another new volume 1. We have the villainess stands the heroes, playing the antagonist to support her faves. I really want to get into the villainous genre. Yen Press announces a new series and I'm like, yes, yes. The premise is really interesting. It follows this girl who gets isekai'd into her favorite game as the antagonist, and she has to act as the villainess to make sure that all of her faves, all of the other main characters, follow the storyline to a T. Yeah, we'll see how I like this one. I don't know if it's super serious or super funny, so we'll see. Okay, here we go. Next up is So What's Wrong with Getting Reborn as a Goblin Volume 2. I loved volume 1. They sent me volume 1. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. It's a goblin. Come on. And oh my gosh, the world, the power system, the MC, it's all super interesting. Don't let that low rating on my anime list fool you. It gets the Profitaku stamp of approval. Surprisingly, I cannot wait to see what volume 2 brings. Alright, next up here are 2 volume 1s that I picked up in my last video, Weebs vs. Non-Weebs. We were trying to find the worst rated manga at the bookstore, and we did very, very well. First up here, we have the hero is overpowered but overly cautious. I actually heard from the comment section that this was surprisingly good, so I'm very intrigued to check this one out. And the other volume from Yen Press from that video was I'm a behemoth, an S-ranked monster but mistaken for a cat. I live as an elf girl's pet. It's got cute anime girls, it's got cats in it. I feel like I'm gonna like this one. Next up are 2 volumes of a side series. I picked up volume 1 of Bungo Stray Dogs 1, and they gifted me volume 4 here. And this is just a side series, just following the daily antics of the cast of characters from Bungo Stray Dogs. I do love Bungo Stray Dogs. Super dark, super serious, but the characters are really comedic as well. The supernatural powers are really interesting, the political dynamics between all of the teams, but I do like that we get this 4-coma side series, just goofy hijinks, because the cast of characters is what makes Bungo Stray Dogs, and I just can't wait to see and what kind of shenanigans they get up into. Next up here is a volume gifted to me from Red Panther Manga. Thank you so much, man. I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description below. Brand new manga tuber. Let's support our community here. But he was like, hey prof, one of my favorite series is Higurashi When They Cry. Can I send you volume 1? I was like, sure. I don't necessarily like that type of series, but I'm happy to try it out. He sent it to me. I did try it out and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Is it something that I'm going to pick up in the future? Maybe, maybe not. It's not like super high on my radar. I liked how creepy it was. It reminded me of like a creepy pasta. But the premise of this mysterious village and murders going around is really, really cool. It's very fast paced. I thoroughly enjoyed the first 2 volume arc, and definitely down the road I can see myself picking this up. Next up here is a manga that I'm definitely on the fence about. I'm very curious to see where volume 2 brings us, and that is Touring After the Apocalypse. I love apocalypse manga. This is a more light-hearted approach to an apocalypse. They're just sightseeing, going around, looking at different places. I feel like there's a lot more to the story than we've gotten to know in the first volume, so I'm very happy that they decided to send me the second volume. I can give it a good old 1-2 try and make sure I can give you guys a solid recommendation of whether I think that you should pick this up or not. Next up here is volume 2 of a side series of A Boys Love World. This is Hirano and Kagura. I have not absorbed any of this world's manga, so I am super excited to get into it. It's very wholesome from what I heard. It's not ecchi at all, which is something that I don't like about boys love series, so I am excited to see a very wholesome and innocent relationship. Continuing on here, we have Toilet Bound Hanako-kun volume 17, and everybody knows Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, so I'm not going to describe anything to you, but have you guys seen the new box set that's about to come out of the locker of the first 10 volumes? Oh man, I really want to pick that up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to sell my first 10 volumes to pick up that box set, because with the way that Yen Press is putting out some quality stuff, I think that box set's going to look phenomenal. Here's a new volume 1 from Yen Press that they sent me, The Other Worlder Exploring the Dungeon. You know, you got this guy, he's got a gun, he's going to other worlds. I was like, yeah, that looks pretty intriguing. Send it over. I'll let you know if this is any good. Now, here's a series that if you would have told me I would actually be picking this up, I would have been like, nope, nope. I mean, there's so many manga series out there. Why would I ever pick this up? But I have volume 2 and volume 3 of Mons Taboo. So I was gifted volume 1 from Yen Press. I tried it out and I was like, wow, this is surprisingly really interesting. Just a really interesting world with the monsters, and then you've got the humans, you got these monsters who are trying to like kill these young adults, and then they start working together, fighting really cool battles. I like the characters, it's a lot of fun, so I appreciate them sending me volume 3, but I need to fill the hole, so we got volume 2 as well. Last up here in the Yen Press section, we have a manga adaptation of a light novel series, In the Land of Leedale. We have volumes 1 and 2 that I picked up myself, and then Yen Press graciously gifted me volume 3. So look, this story seems pretty stereotypical. It follows a person who gets isekai'd into this MMORPG fantasy world, and I don't know, like, I have to give it a shot, because if I don't give it a shot, if I'm not a martyr for the cause, who else is going to? I like to keep an open mind when I read these type of series, because look, I tried out Reborn as a vending machine, Reborn as a goblin, Bow Free, I'll max out my defense, totally weird, obscure series, and I absolutely love them. So, you know what, let's give this a good old 1, 2, 3 try. Alright, now that we're done with all these single volumes, let's start knocking out some big series out of the way from that thumbnail. First up here, we have a big boy. We have the Bakuman box set, volumes 1 to 20. Here's a funny story about this guy. I've had the Bakuman series for like 3 years on my shelf. I was one of the first series that I picked up in 2019. 3 weeks ago, I saw a listing on Facebook for this box set for 65 bucks. And I was like, okay, so I sold off all the singles that I had, picked this guy up. Totally worth it. Now that I have this box set, still haven't ingested the series. Maybe I'll ingest it like 3 years later. We'll see how it goes, but it is about the manga industry, and I love talking about the manga industry, so I just can't believe I still haven't read this yet. Moving on to some other bigger sets that I got this month. These next 2 series are from Manga Swap, and I kind of swore off Manga Swap. The prices were outrageous, but I was able to get this deal, and it was absolutely insane. I got volumes 1 to 18 of Ouran High School Host Club for like $65. Literally the day that I was about to purchase this, I was looking at the box set on Amazon because it was like 90, 85 bucks, but then this deal came up for 65 and I was like, I just can't pass this up. But this is a classic shoujo series that follows this girl who goes to this really rich high school, and she joins this club, but everybody thinks that she's a boy, and then of course hilarious comedic hijinks ensue. But yes, I can't wait to get into this. I heard that there's parts of this manga that haven't necessarily aged well, but it is a classic for a reason. They're obviously still printing this because it's very, very popular, so I can't wait to get into this one. And also, if you didn't know, I'm on a big shoujo kick this year. My goal is to really read shoujo in 2023, so I had to pick this one up. Now here's a manga series that I never thought I would pick up, because you guys know how I feel about battle shonen manga, but everybody's been telling me to pick this up because it is the pinnacle battle shonen manga with amazing artwork and a great cast of characters with a really interesting story. I have watched the first 2 seasons of the anime, so I know what this is about, but we have One Punch Man volumes 1 to 14. At the really cheap price at $5 a volume for basically new condition manga, I just thought, hey, you know what? It's time for me to finally put this in my collection, read these 14 volumes. If I think it's cookie cutter and I don't want to absorb it anymore, I just want to read it digitally, then it will be an easy sell, but at least for now, I have it physically in the case that I really do enjoy. Here's a really short 2-volume series that just kind of blew me away because it was something I never heard of before. It's a shoujo series. It's called Kenka Bancho Otome Loves Battle Royale. So this is the manga adaptation of a video game, and let me just tell you, this totally surprised me. I was hooked onto this series by Short Rest Manga. She is active on Instagram. She had recommended this series. I trust her opinion a lot. I picked this up, and my only complaint about it was that it was too short. It's just a super funny premise with this badass girl who gets sent to this delinquent school for boys, and it's about her trying to hold her own at the school. It's super, super funny. The cast of characters are great. It's a harem series, but with boys, and all of the relationships, even though it's a 2-volume series, get shelled out very, very well. If you're looking to get into shoujo, but you like action-packed, crazy delinquent type of things, this is a series for you. Continuing on the shoujo beat train, we have Dawn of the Arcana. I picked up volumes 8 to 13 here, so that basically finishes up the series. I just need need volume 7 to have a complete set. I really enjoyed the first 2 volumes of this. It's a really interesting dynamic between these Ajin and the humans in the Imperial Court. Lots of political angst going on. It's really fun. Rei Toma is a great storyteller, and I'm really enjoying her other series as well, The King's Beast, which is set in the same world as Dawn of the Arcana. Next up here are 5 volumes of a rom-com series that just kind of went viral on Twitter from one of the panels, and that is The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. But I did pick up the first 5 volumes from Manga Swap, so this is a good chance for me to go ahead and give it the good old 1-2 try, and as I wallow in my single life, I can just live vicariously through the main character and see if I can understand what it's like to have 100 girlfriends. Next up is a critically acclaimed manga with a highly regarded anime, which I don't know why I didn't decide to just watch the anime for this one, but we have Given. I picked up the whole series up to date, so I got volumes 1 to 7. Actually, I heard that this is ending really soon, so I'm curious to see how this one ends. I've not started the series yet, but I really like music manga for some weird reason, but I heard that this is really about the drama and the backstory between the characters and the band, so I'm super excited to give this one a try. I think this is a boys love series that I'm really going to enjoy. And last up here for the larger sets, we have Psycho Pass, the prequel series. This is volumes 1 to 5. Volume 6 just got released this week, so I should be getting it in the mail soon. That will finish off the series, but I'm super excited that Dark Horse decided to reprint the first 4 volumes and then give us volumes 5 and 6 to go ahead and finish out this series. This is a very interesting series from what I've heard. I love Psycho Pass, the original anime. Really cool sci-fi dystopian world setting. I really like this character that the series is centralized around, so I cannot wait to see what this manga brings to the table. So this last section here, we're going to go over all the single volume pre-orders that came to me, and this actually kind of finishes all my standing orders with Right Stuff when it comes to different publisher orders that I have, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and stop right now because I'm like 3 months behind on my backlog for just ongoing series, and I just don't need to pick up anymore. But with that being said, let's start with a vertical rom-com release. Miss Miyazan Would Love to Get Closer to You, Volume 3, 4-volume series. I thoroughly enjoy this rom-com series. Delinquent boy, really nice girl, really wholesome relationship, great pacing, really fun episodes. Definitely a dark horse in the rom-com community. Next up is a final volume of a franchise. We have Orange to You, Dear One from 7 Seas. This is actually an extension to the main story, so this is kind of like the cherry on top of the cake to the whole story itself, so I'm super excited to finally have this series wrapped up. I thoroughly enjoyed the first 5 volumes of Orange. Next up here, we have Adam the Beginning, Volume 2. I have not read Volume 1. It's a prequel to Astro Boy. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. It's mecha, it's Astro Boy, it's a classic, so we'll see what this one brings to the table. Next up here is an underrated comedy series, one of my most underrated series of 2022, and that is My Dear Friend Nokotan, Volume 3. It's just a hilarious premise. You have a delinquent girl who goes to high school, and she meets up with this girl who's a deer, and they start the deer club. It's just really funny. The gags are great. The episodes are great. The comedy is spot on. I just love it so much. Now here's an action series I didn't think I was going to enjoy, but I did a Volume 1 review. It was my very first review that I did for Right Stuff Anime, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm still picking it up to this day from the creator of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, The Identical Deities Know Only Peace, Volume 4. Lots of great lore in this world, lots of things to be discovered with the humans fighting against each other, and you got the Identical Deities who are trying to make sure that the world only knows peace. Of course, it's ecchi, it's got the plastic wrapping on it, but overall, I thoroughly enjoy all the aspects of this series. Next up here is a free volume of manga that came with the Bakuman box set, and that is Little Devils Volume 1. It's a 4-volume series from 7 Seas. I don't think I'm ever going to get to this. Honestly, if I do read this, it's just because I just want to see how bad it is. I mean, I don't know. It looks cute enough. You got these little devils and then you got this person taking care of them, so I guess it's cute. These next 4 volumes here are all volumes picked up in that lowest rated manga team challenge video at the bookstore that I did with my friends. First up, we have Don't Call Me Dirty. It's a BL one-shot. Then we have Superwoman in Love. This is the series that I picked out. Just some girls who are superheroes that are Yuri romance. And then here we are with Hunting in Another World with My Elf Wife. I mean, it just sounds like a terrible fantasy series. And last but not least, we have Lazy Dungeon Master. I mean, just the title alone makes me want to vomit. So if you want to see what the rankings were for these series, highly recommend you check out that video. I haven't read these yet. help me. Here we go with Spy Family Volume 9. We all know Spy Family. Personally, I was pretty disappointed with Volume 8 because it was kind of an all-encompassing volume with the story. Hopefully we get back to the main thing being the main thing with Spy Family. I just kind of miss where this story was going in the first place. Next up here is Shaman King. This is the last omnibus, so volumes 34 and 35. These volumes were previously unpublished in English, so this is the first time they're being released in English. Great that we have this series in completion. I kind of stopped around volume, I think 24 or 27, so I really need to just go ahead and finish this series off to see whether I want to keep it in my collection or not. Next up is probably one of my favorite Battle Shonen ongoing series right now, and that is Black Clover Volume 32. I am officially now 2 volumes behind, so I really need to catch up with this series. We're like smack dab in the middle of an arc. I probably forgot what's going on. Speaking of being 2 volumes behind, we have my favorite Kodansha Battle Shonen ongoing right now, and that is Fire Force Volume 31. We are in the final arc. It is so good, but I may have forgotten everything in this one too. Next up here is the shoujo series Yona of the Dawn Volume 38. That puts me up to date with this. I've read through Volume 7, thoroughly enjoying my time with Yona. A perfect shoujo series for anybody who wants to get into shoujo. It's got a great balance of action, politics, and romance. I love this series. I'm so glad that I started reading it. Next up here is a josei series that I'm really kind of on the fence about, Usatoki Rhetoric Volume 2. It follows a girl who can detect people who are lying, and she teams up with this detective as they go to solve mysteries. Thought the story was okay. I just don't know if this is something that I really want to invest a long haul thing into, so we'll see how this volume goes. Next up here is Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 2, the long awaited volume here. I loved Volume 1, Slice of Life Jurassic Park. If you like that, you're gonna like this. My favorite thing about this manga are the educational things said about dinosaurs and also the artwork. The dinosaurs are drawn exquisitely well, so I highly recommend this series if you want to relive your fantasies of your childhood dreams. Next here is Volume 3 of the Vivi prototype light novel based off of the anime original series. Have not got started with this yet, but this is from the same writer who did ReZero, so of course the writing is probably top notch in here. Here we are with the final volume of a series. We have Donuts Under the Crescent Moon Volume 4. Volume 3 left on a cliffhanger. I cannot wait to see how this one ends. From what I've been hearing around town, I heard that this one did end very well, so I'm excited to see what this short Yuri series brings to the table. I've loved the first 3 volumes so far. Another final volume of a series here. We're just finishing up all these series this month. We have Urusei Yatsura Volume 17. This is the first time that this series has been completed in English. Super happy that Viz decided to go ahead and finish this publication. I have almost everything that Rumiko Takahashi has written in completion, so this is really cool to have this done in my collection. Next up here is a really hot slice of life series from Viz Media. Everybody's been talking about it, Insomniacs After School, and it follows 2 people who can't sleep at night, so they go into the astronomy club to nap, and then they bond over their love for astronomy and space and everything like that. I really like the art style. The character designs look super interesting, really unique, so I'm really excited to see what this VizSig has to offer. It just seems really different in the catalog. Here we are with a volume gifted to me from Right Stuff Anime for review purposes. I'm super happy that they decided to trust me with this review, and that is Chojin X from the same creator as Tokyo Ghoul. I will be releasing this review video on Sunday, so get ready for it. We are also doing a giveaway of this volume. Next up here is another final volume. We have Volume 5 of Island in a Puddle by Kei Sanba, the same person who did Erased. I read Volume 1 of this mystery body swap manga. I really enjoyed it. I decided to go ahead and let this thing finish out, and then I'll go ahead and binge the whole thing, so I can't wait to see what Kei Sanba's newest series has to offer. Alright, last sprint to the end here. We have The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife, Volume 1. This is from the same manga cover as The Country Without Humans. I heard really interesting things about this one. Super glad to have this manga's work in English. Next up is Shonen Note Boy Soprano Volume 2. It's about this boy who's in middle school, sings in the choir, his voice starts to change, coming of age, music manga, right up my alley. Next up here is a very hot manga right now, Gap Papa, Daddy at Work and at Home. It's about this two-faced guy who's super serious at work, but at home he's a loving father and husband. It's in full color, episodic, very wholesome, highly recommend. And finally, we have number 6, Omnibus 2, so this compiles volumes 4 to 6. I did a full review of Omnibus 1. I'll leave a little card in the upper right hand corner. I love this shoujo dystopian series. It's really unique in the shoujo catalog. And that is it for my March 2023 manga haul. Lots of great things, and I cannot wait to read them all. As always, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out. and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.